Welcome back to another episode of Gus Talks Wrestling. And since this last weekend we had a WWE NXT PLE, whew, a lot of letters there, I'm going to be talking about that today. And the one that I'm referring to is the NXT PLE Heatwave. So here are all of my afterthoughts for the matches on this card. First up, we have the number one contenders triple threat match for an opportunity at the NXT Women's Championship at No Mercy. In this match, we had Jada Parker, Lola Vice, and Kailani Jordan. So I did think this was a good match, but I did have a big issue with this. When you have competitors going for a number one contendership spot at the top title that you can attain in your current promotion, it needs to feel like it's something big, like you're very passionate about it. And just, at least in my opinion, these three wrestlers, it felt more like they were fighting for a number one contendership spot for a mid card title. I just didn't feel like there was anything special about this one. Now, good luck to Lola Vice. She won the match, and we'll see where that goes at No Mercy. Personally, I kind of wanted Kailani to win this one, but I do understand why they're going with Lola. They've been pushing her a lot recently, especially when it comes to AAA stuff. So let's see what she can do. I'm going to give this match a 3 out of 5. Next up was the tag team match for the NXT Tag Team Championships. With this one, you had the current champions of Hank and Tank versus two members of Dark State, which ended up being Dion Lennox and Osiris Griffin. So this was another match that I thought was very good, but just nothing spectacular came out of it. Now, mind you, I do think that both Hank and Tank looked great in this. However, though, on the other side, I don't think Dark State looked all that amazing. Like, they were good, but just nothing that really kind of showcased or proved why they should be on top now. Now, I will say this. I am glad that they now have the titles though, because Dark State has pretty much been doing nothing other than being an annoyance for everyone else. So at least this gives them some sort of storyline and something to grow from. One thing that I'm really glad did not happen during this match at all was Cutler James making another sex joke. I don't know why they're trying to do that with his character right now. It's really not that funny, and he's not supposed to be a funny character right now. Like, this is a heel faction. So I don't know. It's just been kind of weird. I guess they're just testing the waters for that, but I really hope that's something that they just drop. I'm going to give this match a 3 out of 5. The next one up was the triple threat match for the TNA Knockouts Championship, where, of course, you have the current title holder of JC Jane versus Masha Slamovich and Ash by Elegance. Going into this match, I wanted to be more interested, but unfortunately, all three of these competitors are not ones that I'm a big fan of, so I might have enjoyed it a little bit more had I been. Now, I do think that this was a really good match, and I like the outcome. I definitely think either Masha or Ash needed to take the title back because TNA needed a win. I mean, how long have people in NXT been holding the two top titles? And I don't know, just for me personally, I just felt so bad for TNA, but luckily it's now going back with Ash. Also, coming out of this match, it feels like they're starting to take those steps towards breaking up Fatal Influence, which I think is a good idea just because I don't think it's all that great of a faction. I think JC's at a point where she can kind of stand on her own. Fallon and Jasmine, I'm not so sure about, but hopefully they land on their feet. I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5. Next, we have Jordan Grace versus Blake Monroe. I do think this was a good grudge match between the two of them. It also gave a bigger opportunity for Blake Monroe to showcase a bit more as she is newer to NXT. In my own opinion, though, I don't think it was the right choice to have Blake come out as the winner. The reason I think that is it just seems that they're burying Jordan Grace. I mean, since she's been there, she seemed really up there on top at first, but now she's just kind of been on a decline. Like, she hasn't gotten many successes, she hasn't gotten many wins, she's had opportunities at belts and hasn't won them. I know that, she was a big thing in TNA and they don't want to just throw her right into that right away without us getting to know her a bit more. But if they keep going this direction, no one's going to care what happens with her either. I also think with how new Blake Monroe is and the popularity she had coming into NXT, that she could have lost this without there being a big issue and still continue her climb. Well, whatever rematch they seem to be planning between the two of them, I hope it's something big that makes a lot of sense and hopefully will get Jordan to look a lot better off. I'm going to give this match a 4 out of 5. The second to last match was the mixed tag match, where we had Ethan Page and Chelsea Green versus Tavion Heights and Tyra May Steele. The first thing I want to say about this is I absolutely love Ethan and Chelsea working together. They are a great pair, in my opinion. Second, I am so mad to this day still that they took the US title off of Chelsea Green because I think she could have had a great run so far. And this would have been so great for the story if it was her with the US title and Ethan with the North American Championship. The other thing that bothers me is it did really feel like Zelina, even though she's good, was kind of a paper champion. And now they're just doing pretty much nothing with Julia. So it really bothers me because Chelsea could have been doing so much this whole time with that title. Tyra is improving, but I did see a few times where she wasn't doing so great in the match. There was even a time you could really tell that Chelsea was having to tell her what to do, and it was very obvious. It might be good for the time being to keep Tavion and Tyra together, just because Tavion is doing pretty good. Like, he's a great wrestler, needs to improve a little bit more on his mic skills, but I think if you have them working as a duo, there's an opportunity for them to both kind of grow during that period. One last thing I do want to say, I really do wish that Chelsea Green would pick a different finisher. Not that the unpretty her isn't good, but unfortunately, just almost every time she does it, it either looks bad or good and never really great. Like, there's been a very few amount of times where it was like, oh, that was pulled off really well. Other times it looks a little clumsy, and I love Chelsea Green, so I'd love to see her do something else that is a little bit better for her. So I'm going to give this match a 4 out of 5. Finally, the main event of the evening, the NXT Championship match between Obafemi and Javon Evans. This was a great match between the two of them. I enjoyed the back and forth. I I winced in pain though as Oba just tossed Javon onto the commentators table. That looked like it hurt so bad. Now, I actually like both of these competitors, and I love Oba as champion, but I really did want Javon to win this one, just because I think it's the right time for it. However, though, with him losing it and having beaten Trick Williams recently, I think he should go for the TNA title and win it, and then Trick can maybe go up to the main roster at that point. As for Oba, I hope they kind of change things up a little bit. I don't know, it's not that I think that the matches are bad at all, but they're starting to get maybe a little bit stale, and I'd like to see something different. Maybe he does an open challenge going forward where he's just decimating everyone and also giving pretty much anyone out there an opportunity. That could be a great way to showcase other wrestlers. Now, there's also the possibility that they're trying to give Oba the title of the longest running NXT champion, which that's totally fine as well. But if they're not going with that, I don't know exactly what you do next here because obviously it looks like Ricky Saints is going to be the next one in line. Now, I will be a little bit annoyed if Ricky is the one to take the title off instead of Javon because it's basically just stating at that point that Javon wasn't good enough, which I think he is. But we'll have to see what happens from here. So I'm going to give this match a 5 out of 5. So what do all of you think about my afterthoughts when it comes to Heatwave? Do you agree or disagree with what I've been saying so far? And is there anything else I forgot to mention when it came to this PLE?